Okay, so welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's that time of the week again, 10 deals under $10, or of course your local currency. Now as always, check our Saturday edition where weekly we're giving away two $10 eShop gift cards for the Switch. And yeah, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. The support recently has been insane and I appreciate every single one of you. With that though, let's do this. So as always, check the lower left corner to see if it's available in your region. These deals, they're going to be live for at least the next week, and I will let you know if that's not the case. But this week, US, UK, EU and AU, as always, I've got you covered. So kicking us off this week, let's start with super budget. This one, it's called Akane. While it's on sale a lot, I love this game and it even actually snuck into my top 20 eShop titles of 2019 over on the channel. So I think it's about time I actually bring this up again. What I thought was going to be a limited experience that gave me nothing more than maybe, a few minutes of gameplay turned into just hours of entertainment and just one more go mentality. The concept's simple: take down wave upon wave of enemies in an arena, dash, slash and shoot alongside this kick-ass dash special move. Single hits so take down your enemies, meaning you can feel like an absolute badass while you do this. Just know if they hit you once as well, you're gonna die, it's game over and it's back to the very beginning. Throw in then a high score system, boss encounters, achievements that unlock new gear for your next playthrough. It's very much like a roguelike in that sense. But yeah, stunning cyberpunk visuals and a great soundtrack. You very much have a winner here and it's an absolute steal honestly with 80% off. I urge everyone to give this one a go. So next up, Oceanhorn, and this is one I own physically, and actually over the last week I put some time back into it, just revisiting it, and I gotta say, I had the urge for something sourder-like, and it very much fills that need. If just mentioning the word sourder isn't enough for you though, this is basically a Wind Waker clone. Explore islands, towns, dive into dungeons to battle it out with tons of different enemies. It's pretty much got that core recipe in place. Here the tale, it's simple: you wake up, find a letter from your father and basically he's gone. So yeah, get out there and work out what's happened. It's about 10 hours to beat this one, and with great visuals, a stunning soundtrack from powerhouse composers and tons of ways to fight it out as you explore this world. I doubt many of you are going to complain at this price point. I really did have a lot of fun with it. It's kind of chill. I'm enjoying this style of adventure right now as well, and 50% off honestly. If you like the genre, do it. It's no sourder obviously, but it's a fair little tribute. Metal Slug, I doubt this one needs much of an introduction, but coming in with 50% off, it was worth full price, and I just love this game, so it's a must buy from me. A classic though of the run and gun format. Basically you play as either Marco or Tama, who alongside their special forces team are out to defeat General Donald Morden, perhaps the least intimidating bad guy name ever. Here though, he's stolen the Metal Slug, a tank for those that don't know, and you're out to get it back. This one though, as entries into the genre go, I've got to say, gunplay, the vehicles, just the combat in general, it's amazing. And then these visuals, up there are some of my personal favourite pixel work ever created, especially the animations. It's short obviously, don't get me wrong, but you're gonna want to keep on going back. I know I do, and the two-player co-op especially, so good. So tower defense strategy, it may not be for everyone, but X-Morph defense, this one's blending in some top-down shooting for good measure, and it may just be worth a look. In this one, for a twist on the typical, shall we say, you're playing as an X-Morph, an alien species invading Earth to harvest its resources and terraform the surface. Rarely do we get to be the bad guys though, so it instantly gives it kind of this unique little feeling. Here though, take on either a single player campaign where you'll invade countries all over the world, or face off against an endless mode. This one has plenty of content to keep you busy though, with around 15 hours of gameplay. The idea is simple at its core though, basically build defensive and attack units that are going to take on Earth's armies, while you're at the same time shooting away in your spaceship of choice. You're very much taking the battle head on, which makes it a whole lot more involved than you may be used to. I really did enjoy this one though, a lot more than I expected honestly. It was a complete surprise, it's something unique, and 75% off, I'll be honest, I was a little questionable about its starting price, but now I say just go for it. So horror fans out there, Darkwood dropping with a 40% discount gets it an absolute must buy from me. This top-down survival horror is seriously impressive. The concept simple: survive the creepy ass world of Darkwood, where it relies on building tension instead of just cheap jump scares. With a whole lot of freedom though given to the player, it's really down to you to make the decision of what and where you go next, thanks to what is a branching storyline. Here then expect skills and perks to build your character, crafting and lots of it, a day and night cycle where I suggest you hide as much as possible during the night, and then it's got replayability too. It's randomly generated maps, meaning for every playthrough it's always going to be different. It's not an easy game, but I always enjoy a horror experience that, as I say, doesn't rely on cheap tactics to get the shivers down my spine. A truly unique game in the eShop library. I suggest horror fans give this one some serious consideration. As I say, not easy, but absolutely worth it. And also, I was surprised at how much a top-down viewpoint could still scare the crap out of me. As always, now the game I'm picking up, I can't recommend it as such because I've never actually played it, but maybe some of you will want to join me for the ride, or maybe some of you will simply want to tell me what an awful decision I've made as I cry over my poor bank card. This week's game though, Hell Warders. I didn't pick this up after reviews, though they weren't great, but now with a 45% discount, it's just visually too appealing to me, so I'm gonna take the risk. From what I can tell, it seems to be part third-person action RPG, part tower defense. I'm not going in with high hopes, honestly, I'm saying that now, but at this price point, I think it's gonna be hard to be, too disappointed. And occasionally I will say I like to take a bit of a risk, especially when it's a cheap one. So back on with games then. I do know, and I'll tell you this, Blazing Beaks with 86% off is just literally insane. This one, it's a roguelite where instead of benefiting from, collecting tons of items that you can actually use, here they actually put a negative effect on you, providing what is, I suppose, the hook for the game. Visually reminiscent of Enter the Gungeon in its viewpoint, the idea here is simple. You raid locations and you pick up these items that give you a negative effect. Let's say you can't fire your weapon, or maybe your movement is slowed down. These though, you're going to get them to a store to trade them for good usable items that will actually help you on your quest. Randomly generated levels though give you a ton of reasons to get back into this one. Tons of weapons to play with, 8 playable characters, even a story mode that can be tackled in solo or co-op. Expect to die a lot here, as is the norm for a roguelite, but it's incredibly entertaining, and it's also not the most difficult in the genre. I will say though, you're going to get a ton of gameplay too for the price. Think like maybe 10 to 15 hours. So next up, the colourful and cute but weird Unboxed Newbie's Adventure. Here, the global postal service is nearing bankruptcy, and to save themselves, they've basically created self-delivering boxes. It's down to you as GPS one of these boxes to basically save the day. Weird, I know, but it's actually surprisingly entertaining. Visually, it's reminiscent of an old school 3D platformer, which was pretty much what hooked me initially. But then I will say it delivers on nearly every platforming front, from its mechanics to just the layout of the world and the collectathons they contain. It's for sure aimed at a younger audience, and it does have its problems, I'll say that now, but if you do have kids running around, this very well may be a good little distraction for them, and you'll probably want to jump in occasionally too. At full price, honestly, I would definitely not recommend it, way overpriced, but the 80% off here now, it makes it worth a look for sure. Now Farabelle, a turn-based strategy title where instead of starting at the beginning and getting stronger, you start at the end, go backwards to stop a war, all while getting weaker. This means, yeah, you'll start off as an absolute kick-ass hero, but as you progress then, before you know it, you're going to be very much the rookie. How you're negatively impacted though is up to you. You'll make the decisions, what stats will you drop, and then it's all, I've got to say, wrapped up in some solid turn-based mechanics, with 26 battles to go up against, 40 units to utilise, 18 spells and abilities, and then 2 additional modes. Classic, which is just, a 1v1 standard battle, and then defense, where you face a never-ending war. I've got to say, 90% off. This is super cheap, it's insane, I think it's absolutely worth a pickup, and also just to throw in a nice factor, I love the visuals. I think they make for a refreshing twist on a genre that often takes itself seriously. So my final game and my personal pick of the week, Sterenden Binary Stars, a word I can barely ever say. This one, it's a horizontal roguelike shooter though. Difficulty, this one is insane, but that's very much to be expected with the blending of these two particular genres. Jump in, shoot, tackle wave upon wave of enemies, get your ass kicked more often than not, die, Power up just a little bit more and then repeat. It is absolutely an addictive formula that I am personally a sucker for. I've got hours upon hours out of this one. I still play it to this day, especially in handheld. It's amazing. And here with 61% off, it's a super cheap price for a game with just so much replayability. Grinding, upgrading your ship and discovering new power-ups here, it's just so very rewarding. And that's it, another week of budget deals complete. Let me know what games you think I should be checking out in this latest sale, or what you think I missed in this video. Remember to head to the deals video then from Saturday to another weekly breakdown of deals where we don't factor in budget that time, but we're always giving away 2 $10 eShop gift cards. And yeah, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we do here. Join our growing family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.